What's up guys, Simply Coco here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to yet another installment of 31 Days of Halloween here on my channel. This is day 22, and we're here with a speed build. I am building an El Salvadorada on the bar lot. I'm not sure what the bar was called, but yeah, that's the lot we're building on. It's a 40 by 30, and pretty much, I was gonna say it's the middle of the world, but I don't think it is. It's like in the bottom right section of the map view. Anyway, as you can tell from the title, we are building the house from the movie Coco. So this is Miguel's house. If you are not familiar with the Disney Pixar film Coco, Coco is not actually the main character. A little boy named Miguel is. Coco is his Coco is his great grandmother, and the movie is about him trying to cross over into the world of or he's not trying to. He gets trapped in the land of the dead on the Day of the Dead, and if he doesn't get back to the world of the living before sunset, he's gonna get stuck. And he runs into his family while he's there, and he runs into Coco's parents. So they would have been his great grandparents. But yeah, I just thought I would build their house. You don't see much of it in the film, but what you do see is very colorful, very pretty. And I just really thought it would be a great idea to build it in The Sims. This is probably the best world for it. It works really nice. As you can see, the shell came together, and then all of a sudden the rest of it came together, like the roof textures and all of that. Just because this was 3.5 hours worth of footage, and in order for it to not be super sped up, I had to cut some footage out. So I thought me decorating was more important than me putting the roof textures and the wallpapers on. I'm just using like a concrete wallpaper. But also in the movie, they have their own business. They're a shoemaking company, like they make shoes. So the building over here on the top left of your screen is the shoe shop. So we're going to put some things in there to simulate a shoe shop. Try saying that 5 times fast. Shoe shop. No, I'm not even going to do it. But yeah, I found a few reference photos to go off of. Not very many. You see a little bit of the corner I'm working on now. You see this area just a little bit. You can't really tell what's under this covered portion in the reference photo I was looking at, but it did look like some dining tables with like a lot of fruit on them. So the middle one is going to be their like proper dining table, and then the two to the side, I actually changed them to accent tables, or console tables, whatever you want to call them, and just put a whole bunch of clutter on them because I just felt like it didn't make sense to have 3 dining tables that look the same. So I'll do that here in a second. I do change the chairs out eventually to be all different kinds of chairs instead of all the same chair. Just because I felt like that'd be more realistic. It'd make it more lived in, make it look more lived in, and stuff like that. These are the console tables I went with. They are from, I believe, Cats and Dogs, and I just put a whole bunch of like fruit clutter on them and plants and stuff like that. I'll go back and put like the sugar skulls on them, and then like the skull statues that you see in this culture a lot, in the Mexican culture, for Day of the Dead. Those skeleton statues. I'm not sure what they're called. And then the build really comes together after I put all of these hanging things around. I'm not really sure what they're called. They're like little cutouts of skulls and birds and stuff like that. And once these are up, the build really comes together. Um, it just adds, it just adds more color. It makes it more true to the culture, and it's great. And that's that tree right there is the Journey to Batu tree. It's the same one that I used in my Hispanic tiny home for 8 Sims. Again, the ribbons on it just really give me like a Hispanic vibe. I'm not really sure why, because I've only ever seen like ribbons or strings on a tree in the Indian culture, not Native American, but like Indian culture. So I don't know why it kind of gave me Hispanic vibes, but it does. Yeah, over here is the where they would wash their clothes. I actually get rid of the clothesline that's actually functional, just because there's gonna be exactly 8 Sims living on this lot, and that would be a lot of laundry. So I leave the fake clothesline, which is actually from Island Living. I leave the fake one since it already has stuff on it. It really just adds to the storyline and adds to the decorations and adds to the realism. But I do leave the wash tub there, just also for decorative and realism reasons. That was me changing out the chairs. I do have that birdhouse next to the Journey to Batu tree. And then if you watch the movie or look at any pictures from the movie or anything like that, there's a lot of these orange flowers around the place. I'm not sure if they are flowers or if they're leaves or what they are. I'm pretty sure they're a type of flower, but I emulate that by using the leaf clutter that you would usually use as like a centerpiece on a dining table. I put those around, and then I also use that plant that it's sitting on like 2 shelves, and I used it in an all orange swatch. The dog's barking. I'm very sorry about that. But yeah, now we're working on the landscaping. At first I had no clue what I was going to do with the landscaping on this lot, but what I kind of did was literally what I do in every single lot that I build. I looked around the lot and I just tried to make it resemble what was around it, because this lot is kind of in a courtyard. Like I said, this is the bar lot in El Salvadorada. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's like this bar or this lot is the center of this courtyard, and around it is just this just like different random plants. So I took those plants and put them around the build, literally the exact same ones. I imagine like this whole property maybe belongs to the family, so they are the ones that decorated the whole courtyard. It's not that way in the film. I'm just saying for Sims purposes and for realism purposes within the Sims. Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what. But anyway, I am now just putting some of these hanging things on the outside of the build. Most of the plants are from Debug. Over here, this is the outside of the shoe shop. And you're kind of getting a view of the exterior, because you didn't really get to see a whole lot of it in the first part of the video, just because it either was moving too fast or I cut it out. But yeah, so I just really enjoyed this build. It was really fun to build. It took me, like I said, 3.5 hours. If you are watching this, put this on Twitter and tag Pixar. Maybe I can get a Disney collab, just like The Sims 4 Journey to Batu, and get me some Disney coin. No, seriously, Disney, if anyone from your team, or Pixar, if anyone from your team is watching, I would love to do a collab with you of some sort. I don't have very many subscribers, but if you sponsor me or something, then yeah, I can get some. Anyway, Let me stop plugging myself. But no, seriously, Disney, Pixar, let's do this. But now I am moving to the interior. I'm working on the kitchen, but I just wanted to say, real quick, that this lot will have 8 Sims on it. In the film, I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than 8. But in the Sims, as you know, you can only have 8 Sims per family. So there's going to be Miguel, which is the main character. There's going to be his parents. So that's 3, his mom and dad. There's going to be his grandmother. There's going to be Coco, which is the great grandmother. Then there's going to be an aunt and an uncle. So that's 7. And then that aunt and uncle is going to have a toddler, and that makes 8. Now, Miguel in the movie does have a dog. So if you want to get rid of the toddler bed that I put and include a dog, you can. Honestly, I would have done the same, but I wasn't thinking about the dog at the time. And then technically, the dog in the film isn't even his dog. It's a stray dog that eventually becomes his spirit guide. But, so yeah, spoiler alert. That's not that big of a spoiler, but yeah, so if you want a dog, you can definitely have one and do that. There's plenty of room for the little fella. So this part of the house I am considering the main house. I imagine that this main house belonged to Coco's parents. Again, Coco is Miguel's great grandmother, and Miguel's grandmother's mom. So I imagine this main house belonged to Coco's parents, and then once they kind of died and passed on, all their family just kind of started coming and living on this one property. So the extra buildings kind of got added on later, besides the shoe shop, because they've had the shoe shop since forever, like ever since Coco's parents and everything. The family has always been shoemakers. Another tidbit about the film is that the family in the movie, they hate music. They do not like music whatsoever. I'm really just thinking about this now, and I wasn't thinking about this while I was building it, so hopefully I didn't put anything musical around. But they don't like music because they believe that Coco's dad left them behind to pursue a music career. So they don't like music for that reason. But now that I'm thinking about it, that painting that I just put up definitely has like some cellos or guitars or something on it. So before I put this on the gallery, I might change that out, or if I forget to, you definitely can. If you want the storyline to match the film, obviously you don't have to. This is The Sims. But this is the living area. At first, I was just going to do the ofrenda, which is the room I'm doing now. I was just going to show the ofrenda, the kitchen, the living space, Coco's room, Miguel's room. That's originally the only parts of the build I was going to show on camera. But I went ahead and showed the entire build just because if I didn't show the rest of the rooms, then I know I would never get them furnished, and I'd probably never get the lot up on the gallery. So I was just like, okay, you just need to finish it and be done. But the ofrenda, I believe I'm saying that correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Put a pronunciation video down in the comments or anything that will help me. But the ofrenda is where they put up photos of their relatives that have passed away. And I'm pretty sure it stays up all year round, but I don't want to say the Spanish name for it because I don't want to screw it up. But during the Day of the Dead, they come and pray over their family's pictures, and it's just a day to remember the dead, or remember the family members that have passed. And in the movie, this is a real life holiday. If you didn't know, that this Mexican culture actually celebrates. But in the movie, if you have passed away and your photo is on your family's ofrenda, then you are allowed to cross over between the non-living world and the living world, and you can actually come back to the living world for one night or for that whole day and spend time with your living family. They can't see you. They don't know that you're there, but you can spend time with them. And if your picture isn't on your family's ofrenda, then you're not allowed to cross over. So Miguel ends up stuck in the land of the dead because he steals a really famous musician's guitar, and somehow the guitar put him into the world. And it comes to find out that musician actually stole Coco's dad's songs, and that's how he became famous. He actually killed Coco's dad. So once the family learns that, it kind of puts the love of music back in their hearts, because they realized they had no reason to hate music. They needed to hate the guy that killed Coco's dad. Again, sorry if you're getting lost with me explaining the movie. Sorry if you don't like me explaining the movie at all, either because you've seen it already and you know what it's about, so you don't want to hear it, or you haven't seen it, so you don't want me to spoil anything. So I do apologize about that. It's just I spent a lot of time in this one room. It's coming together. I thought it came together really, really, really nice. I absolutely love it. I really wish I would have gotten a really good screenshot that I liked. I got some good ones, but not one that I liked enough to make the thumbnail. But I really would have loved if this room alone was the thumbnail. It's probably the most recognizable part of the movie, besides the world of the dead, because it's absolutely beautiful. But maybe one day I'll try and make that in The Sims, the world of the dead. It's very it's almost like nightmare. It's very Nightmare Before Christmas ish, but more colorful and more bright, and neon lights, and it's very pretty. But yeah, anyway, this is the shoe shop. So what I'm going to end up putting in here is just a whole bunch. I'm telling you what I'm putting instead of just letting you look at it, because I don't know how much of the footage I cut out. But I end up putting 4 woodworking tables. I put 5 woodworking tables all together, but only one of them is actually functional, because the 4 that I'm putting down right here, or no, it's 4 altogether. The 3 that I'm putting down in the middle of the room, I actually put bar stools at, so you can't actually use them because the chairs would be in the way. So the only functional woodworking table in there is the one by the door. But I just wanted to make sure there was something in this room that your Sims could use. They also could come in here and knit if they wanted to. And then I used the shoe objects, and I just raised them and then used some shelves to make it look like they're sitting up in the wall. That's just a desk for whoever comes by that window, and they can sell shoes. Yeah, but the woodworking table was the best thing we had for that. So your Sims can't actually go to the woodworking table and make shoes. They would just make a wood carving of something. But I never like to just build a room just based on realism or just based on a photo of something. I always like a room to have something playable in it. So just for example, if I'm building, let's say I build a zoo, and let's say I build a zoo. Obviously we don't have zoos in The Sims 4. So if I built a zoo, then I would want you to be able to do something on that lot. So I would just make sure the lot was actually playable. Yeah, that was a bad example, but still, this is actually Mama Coco's room. It looks nothing like this in the film. We only get a small glimpse of her room in the film at the very end, whenever Miguel gets back from the land of the dead, and he's trying to get her to remember her dad, because if they don't remember if they don't remember the people, if the living people don't remember someone that's passed away, then in the non-living world, once the last person that remembers you dies, you'll like completely die. It's like they call it their second death. Like once no one remembers you anymore, once no one remembers you anymore, you're completely erased from the non-living world. You like literally cease to exist, and you're like officially gone. It's really sad, but yeah, this is Coco's daughter's room, so Miguel's grandmother. So she just has a single bed, and I'm going for this like blue and black color scheme in her room, and then just popping out a few of the other colors that are in her rug. I imagine this probably was her room as a kid. Like I was saying earlier, I imagine this main house was the only part of the house besides the shoe shop. And then as more family members started coming, they started building this section of the house over here. This room is actually Miguel's room. I tried to make it look as much like his. In the movie, the only room you see Miguel in isn't actually his room. It's like an attic or something. Ooh, excuse me. It's like an attic. I think it's an attic, or it's like a small part, or like a small like void in the roof. I don't know if that's a thing. But he just goes up there and hangs out. He has a TV on a chair in there. That's why I have that. He has more of these hanging things. He has just a whole bunch of clutter up there, and that's where him and the dog go and hang out. I forget the dog's name. So I just tried to make his room very cluttered. I wish in The Sims we could have stuff like that. Like, I mean, we could have attics, but we can have attics in The Sims, but you would have to add like a top floor, if you know what I mean. Like there's no attic tool like there's a basement tool, because realistically you would want the attic within the roof, but in The Sims you would have to create a whole nother floor and then put a roof around that, and it just would have thrown off the shape of the build, so I didn't want to do that. But yeah, these are the skull statues that I was talking about, not the sugar skulls, but the one behind it. Let me know what those are called if you know. Now I'm trying to find the poster, the corkboard, because I've pulled out a few postcards just because I don't know why he would have postcards. Maybe he collects them, because I don't imagine the family travels very much. One thing I will say, as we're coming close to the end of the video, is this is a rental lot, because you can't put residential lots in vacation worlds. So technically this is a vacation lot, but if I were to ever play on this lot, I would want it to be a residential lot. So the next best place to place this would be somewhere in Oasis Springs, because it kind of has that same vibe as El Salvadorada. It's not as tropical, but it's actually desert, so it's definitely not tropical, but it just has that same kind of vibe, kind of like Hispanic, Spanish vibes a little bit. I'm not sure what lot. Just pick a 40 by 30 in Oasis Springs, and that's probably your best bet. There's really nowhere else where it would really blend in. So Oasis Springs is the best call for that. Now that I'm looking at it, I put another painting of music, which I guess isn't bad, because at one point the family loved music, but as time went on, they began to hate it. So I imagine they would have gotten rid of all of their music paintings and stuff. But maybe this build takes place after. Maybe this build takes place after the events of the movie, and now they love music again, so they went back and hung up all their old music related paintings. So that's the storyline we're going with, so I don't have to go back and change anything. um but yeah, so this is just like this is the add-on section of the entire house. So that's why they just have a little kitchenette. It's very small. They don't even have a stove. They just have a mini fridge and a microwave and a sink. And then there's 3 bedrooms in here and a bathroom. So this bedroom that I'm working on now, I'm kind of gonna hop between this bedroom and the bedroom next to it. This is the aunt and uncle's bedroom, so that's why they have a toddler bed in there. And then this bed is Miguel's parents' bedroom, which ends up being very, very minimalistic. They don't have a lot of anything in there. You don't really know the personalities of anybody in the film except for the grandmother and Miguel, and then obviously the people he meets in the land of the dead. But Coco's like a 90-something-year-old woman, so she like barely talks or anything like that. And then his parents just kind of sit back and watch everything happen, and they really kind of let the grandmother do all the disciplining and stuff, which is fine. I would assume in the Spanish or Hispanic or Mexican culture that the grandparents would have a lot of say in disciplining the child. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Let me know again if you are of Hispanic or Latino or Mexican or Spanish or Hispanic or anything descent. Just let me know. Yeah. Let me know what I could have also added to make this build better, or if you've seen the movie and you're just like obsessed with Coco and the movie like the back of your hand. Let me know if I missed anything, any detail that was important or anything like that. Pop it down in the comments so that others know. But yeah, this is the aunt and uncle's, the aunt and uncle's room. They have a little toddler. Like I said, I really kind of wanted a dog. But I forgot. So if you want a dog, just delete the toddler bed and yeah. But as you can see, guys, the screenshots are rolling. Hopefully I got to say everything I wanted to say. There's quite a few screenshots, so if you made it this far, please stick around and thank you so much. Tweet this video to Disney because I'm serious. I need that to happen. It probably won't, but wishful thinking. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. And I'm also streaming on Twitch tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is twitch.tv/simplycoco94. That information is down in the description box below. And I also have a Discord server now, so if you want to join that and chat with me throughout the week, feel free. That's in the description as well, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.